and it's closed so that I have the place all to myself. And actually, we've redecorated. It's a bit hard to see from the camera angles. And we have two cameras now. So the one facing me is a ZVE10, and this guy that sees the table that's right behind me, this guy is also a ZVE10. So I liked it so much na we got two of them. And while we're waiting for people to show up, I think now would be a good time to run our first ad before I forget. All right. So as you notice, we do have a new sponsor. It's Colorful, and they were kind enough to give us apparel, and then we run some of their ads during the streams. You'll also be seeing a bunch of sponsored videos from us in the upcoming months. Sup, David Go? Sup, Moki? Yun, so the shop is closed today since holiday, but I do like to come in when it is closed. And in my absence, the guys or our ladies and gents at the shop have remodeled. If you've been to the shop before, you know that usually these two tables are parallel to each other, and then they're parallel also to the door. But now they're perpendicular, so they just made them one straight line. So if you walk in, so that's the door, and then you walk in, you like cross here, and then usually there's one table packed there, then another table behind it packed there. But now the kids decided to remodel, and then so actually there's a bunch of cases here, there, in that corner, but they've managed to place most of them to the side where they should be, and then we're gonna clean this place up, and they want to make it a YouTube wall where we can put a green screen and things like that. But personally, I would like it to be like two consoles. One console would be for gaming, and then sometimes customers wait. They want to wait for their. I just use this one, like if I'm talking here, but it's like so close. It's like my face. Yeah. Yeah. That's not a good view. Okay, let's just keep it at the hardware. We'll talk about the hardware in a little bit. This is the this is the bonkers open case that Cooler Master has kindly lent us for our test bench. It's really massive. We'll get through that in a little bit. We're gonna do a video for Asus, one of their M80X cases, which looks quite nice. It's all mesh. So it should be great for cooling. And maliit siya. I mean, some M80X cases, nagtataka ka na, ba't pag ginawang M80X to, ang laki niya? But this one is a good compact. That one, the white one there, that's a good compact M80X case. Then we have a bunch of stuff for cleaning. The Fractal Design 2, Meshify 2 on the right. The right there was for transplant. So we'll get through the builds in a little bit. But yeah, I just want to talk about the layout change. So, man, it's like from the shop when like we talk about super nitty-gritty things like the layout change. But yeah, this is the wall that you see when you enter. So there's the door. When you enter, it's on your left side. The kids cleaned it up yesterday, or I think it was Friday. So they want to make this like a green screen where we can have a green screen so we can film in front of it, then they can put different backgrounds in edit and post. Pero ako personally, gusto ko na may two computers. Yung customer console where they can look at our prices. Kasi right now, we do have PC set up. Like, this is our usual test PC. Thank you to Asus for the monitor. And then we have another one over there. Thank you, BenQ, for the monitor. But, when we use that to test a test rig and when we're doing it for builds or things like that, nagagamit yung monitors, nagagamit yung console. So I want one dedicated console sana over there just where customers can access our site and then they can build on their own. Then if they have questions, they can approach us. So that's a customer console. And then another one, like a dedicated computer for our testing setups. Like, stop, Adrian. I guess somebody would tell me naman if I'm like walang audio, no? So I guess the audio is good. Yeah, so a customer console and then a gaming console where customers can use it and they can actually play games while they're waiting for their PC to be done. And then that would also double up as our test bench for things like coolers. We do a lot of CPU cooler reviews. GPU reviews and things like that. So naka-load na yun lahat. We're gonna be using the games anyway for the GPU reviews to get their frame rates, to see what like kung tinaas natin yung resolution to 2K, can the graphics card still handle it? So kumbaga, we need everything already set up. We might as well allow, or share it with the customer so that they can do something while they're waiting. Kasi to be honest, medyo kinakabahan din yung mga techs namin. Our techs, if you've been to the shop, are quite experienced. But, it's a bit nerve-wracking when you have someone looking over your shoulder. And it's not necessarily to criticize. I mean, a lot of our customers are just curious on how do you build, saan mo sinasaksak yung GPU, saan mo sinasaksak yung RAM, what was wrong with my computer, they bring it in for a diagnostic. But it is a bit unnerving for our staff na nandun yung customer, and sometimes when you're doing with computers, you need to be a little forceful. Hinihila mo yung wires or some, like yung 24-pin na motherboard cable, sobrang sikip nun sa motherboard, so you kind of have to pull it out. And if the customer is a little anxious, they'll be like, oh, tama ba yan, and things like that. So and that's different. One of the things that's different about Hardware Sugar is that everything is open. So our test setup is all open. The customers can see the rigs being assembled, being tested, and things like that. This is the only shop I know of na ganon. Kasi yung, oh man, that's power cable pala. I should stop kicking my feet down here. Man, I love this setup. So we have two ZVE 10s now. Let me just make sure it doesn't fall. My feet were kicking the power cable. Yes, so we're the only shop I know of na open talaga lahat. And people can come see us build, the customers can come see what we're doing. Pero yun nga, nakaka-nervyos para sa staff namin. All of the other shops just have like a very small waiting area, tapos nandun sa likod yung, there's a partition, and then the technicians do their work in the back. We think that's boring. Part of the joy of the shop is na to try to get people into the hobby, na hindi lang sila bibili from us, but also like, yeah, this is how you install a CPU, or if you're interested, kita mo talaga at a glance bakit iba yung AIO sa air cooler, for example. So that's, like, you can see that now. Like, if you were a customer and you came to the shop and you see these two rigs on display, obviously that's don't think that's a Hyper 212. It seems a little bulky, a bit heavier, but obviously an air cooler over there, and then an AIO over here, which is an Arctic AIO 360mm. We'll talk about it in a little bit. But yeah, one of the advantages of Hardware Sugar is na, yun nga, kita mo talaga lahat, and it's easy to appreciate what the items look like. Even like how we display, everything is open. So you can come up there, you can like, wow, ang liit pala nung SSD, or okay, that's what the RGB fan looks like. And but ang mahal ng CPU, ito lang pala. I mean, it's so small, comes in a box. So, yep, that's one of the things we like doing that's different from other shops, and we will continue to do that. But it's a bit nerve-wracking for the staff sometimes to be working and then having somebody watch them. So maybe we can distract the customers with a gaming console that we plan to put over there. I don't know if the guys, if my staff will overrule me, if they want to make it a YouTube green screen wall. All right, let me just go through the chat. Moki, yes, we do deliver nationwide, including Iloilo. We have done it before, I think. David Go, the height Y60 red. We will be posting it over next week. Yeah, we took some pictures. Nice case, nice build. David has some interesting hardware. Yung GPU niya naka water cooling using the NZXT sleeve. So that's an interesting option. What's your best, Patrick from YouTube? What's your best seller in M80X cases? It's either the Matrex 43FS, so that's static RGB. You just cycle through it. It's nice and cheap, and if you're building on a budget, I like that because it's a roomy M80X case, and it does have some RGB. So if you're going for that kind of gamer mode, that fits the bill nicely. Tapos if you want a more austere setup, we usually also carry the Macube 110. That's in white, so that's a very clean looking rig, no included RGB, also around for the same price. Actually, both of them sell quite well. To be honest, we don't have a lot of M80X cases. Those are our usual stock options, though. Both of them are deep cool, the Matrex 43FS, and then the Macube 110. All right, I'm gonna play the second ad, guys, because I'm always scared that I'll forget, and we have 4 of them to go through. And I said every 10 minutes. Okay, so we've done 10 minutes. So let's do that. We first played this ad on Pwede Magtanong, and to be honest, all of us were kind of like, was the lady really necessary for to introduce a motherboard? And then Rocky the programmer, who I believe is watching now, mentioned na, walang specs. No specs were mentioned in the ad at all. Although, to be honest, I do appreciate the high production values that they threw into that particular ad. I mean, it's a very visible cyberpunk aesthetic, and it is attention grabbing. If your attention is drawn to other things, maybe not necessarily the motherboard. The motherboard's kind of just like there in the background. But I do appreciate the. I mean, I watched the ad. Maybe, yeah, it doesn't really tell you much about the product, but it certainly captures your interest. It did kind of remind me of my all-time crush from literature is Molly from Neuromancer by William Gibson. So it's not the first novel that is considered cyberpunk, but it's like the first one that really kind of popularized the genre. It's like when you think cyberpunk, at least for literature, you think um Neuromancer, and then I love the opening line. Just the opening line is amazing. The opening line is the sky of the port was the gray. The sky of the Okay, obviously I have to paraphrase. I don't remember it anymore. Pero parang the first line goes something like, "The sky of the port was the gray of a TV set to a dead channel." And then you guys, like, if you're a bit younger than me, you don't even know what that means anymore kasi puro cable na lang kayo, hindi kayo broadcast. But if you reach broadcast TV and it's the snowy grayness of what you see on that TV channel. That's such an amazing description kasi parang automatically, if you grew up with a certain, at a certain time, like the 80s, early 90s, parang alam mo na kaagad yung what that gray is, and then you can immediately picture it onto the sky. And it prefigures a lot of the themes of the novel na where technology and nature kind of intertwine. But anyway, one of the primary characters there is Molly River, like Molly silver shades or something, but basically her eyes are covered by her visor or something. And Molly is my all-time favorite crush from literature. And I did my college thesis on Neuromancer. So I do appreciate. I mean, I do have a thing for the cyberpunk aesthetic. Although it's been applied to so many things now. That there's steampunk, there's like post-environmental punk. Where everything is nagka flooding na because of climate change and things like that. So the slash punk thing has been kind of overused lately, but I'm always down for some good cyberpunk. I even liked Cyberpunk 2077. I enjoyed the game, even though a lot of people were critical of it. Casper, so Hamon first. Tihi, 30K quotation. Usually we recommend something like based around the 5600G for a budget like that. So 5600G, you don't need to buy a GPU, which cuts down on cost. But the 5600G has a very capable integrated graphics. That's the nice thing about the 5000 series na Ryzen. The 5600G, the 5700G, very capable integrated graphics. So you can play quite a number of decent games on them at decent settings. And then if you look at the reviews, actually the difference between the 5600X with the GPU, with a 3060 even, and sorry, so like a 5600X with a GPU and then a 5600G with a GPU later on, sobrang liit lang ng difference. So my point is that's a valid upgrade path. You can't afford a GPU first, you get a 5600G. Later on, pag nakaipon ka na, you add a GPU. Sobrang lapit lang din dun sa performance. So if you had gotten a dedicated CPU like a 5600X and then gotten a GPU. So yun, so it's a very good option actually for like a 30K build, the 5600G. Hey Mon, do you guys sell Founders Edition GPUs? Unfortunately, we don't. We don't have a supplier. Casper, our physical store is in Makati on Chino Roses. We do have a video on it. Like just type in how to get to Hardware Sugar on our channel, or you can Google us. Google all of the maps are updated. Sup, Rocky the Programmer. I actually saw the wallpaper kasi dun sa nakita ko na kahapon kasi it was included in Jay's B-roll. But I do not approve actually. We just changed that. Sup, Lucky from Facebook. Minarathon, new follower. Minarathon ko for 2 weeks mga videos. Thank you so much. I do hope to see you in the shop. Yeah, and we really do appreciate people who binge through the videos kasi that tells YouTube na baka may kwenta naman tong channel na to and we should recommend them. So, thanks. We do appreciate it. Sup, Ian Meru. Thanks for watching. And thank you for being a YouTube member. All right. So, we are... All right, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do live from the shop proper. So, this is the... All right. I just got like... I'm gonna like camera to camera. So, this is our first camera setup. That's a ZVE10 with Sirius. Yeah, Sirius tripod. The problem, and then that was our primary camera for everything. So I shot all of my videos. I got that in April. I shot our first real camera that we used extensively. My brother Rafael uses a Fuji XS10, pero paminsan di yun available for the shop use kasi he's using it also. So like the ZVE10 was the first one talaga na I used it primarily, and then I also brought it to the shop, and the guys used it a lot for B-roll. That became a problem though because I needed to use it, but they needed it here in the shop. So just this week we got a second ZVE10, both of them from Henry's Camera, not sponsored, but thank you very much for the good service. And then we also got a tripod. So this tripod thingy, it's Zome. I am not too familiar with this brand, but it's quite good actually. It can also be a monopod, and it's around for the same price as the Sirius. But yun, so that's why we now have the luxury of having two gorgeous cameras. Before we were just using our cell phones, using Droid Cam. So at least for the shop, this is a nice experience actually. This is my first time to... We used the ZV-10 before, but it was only like nakatutok sa akin or nakatutok dito sa background. So now that we have two high-def cameras, definitely nice. And they're both wired. Yun lang yung downside. So you see the cord here and then the white cord there. They're both USB-C. So that does limit us a little. I'm used to bringing around the camera when I go around the shop for live from the shop. But this is a pretty good... Like this is a long cord. So we can go all the way over to the other end. Where's my finger? Yeah, over there with this cord. So not too bad. So first I do want to say na sorry to the customer. We did announce yesterday that we were closed today because of the holiday, but as I was setting up this stream, we did a customer did come in. He wanted to build and he wanted but he was cool about it. I said, I'm so sorry, we're closed. Please come back tomorrow. And actually we have a bunch of we have 2 or 3 builds na naka-queue along with our cleaning cable management stuff. So we do have a lot of work to do when the guys come back in on Monday. But fortunately, the customer lives close by. We announced it on Facebook yesterday, but it is not everybody sees those announcements and things like that. So it's quite often we're open every day except for holidays. Although sometimes even for holidays we're open. Pero I mean, I do appreciate that people take the time to come out to the shop and to find us. It is a bit medyo hidden away. That's why I made a video discussing like how to get here. So I do appreciate it. Thank you to the customer. I do hope you come back tomorrow. So this is the case the Cooler Master, one of the cases Cooler Master lent us, but this is the one that we use for a test bench because it is open. So it's super easy to plug everything in and out. So like if we needed access to the GPU, we could unplug this sucker right away. You got the RAM, easy to plug in. And I think perhaps the most important for the shop guys, we do a lot of CPU testing. So it's super convenient that we don't need to muck around, remove the side panel. Sometimes you need to remove the motherboard from the case itself. This open setup makes everything super useful. I do want to apologize for Cooler Master because I completely forgot what the name of this case is. I'm trying to see. Um, yeah, it's a Cooler Master case, guys. I just can't remember, to be honest, what the model is. Well, I mean, to be honest, you probably won't be buying something like this. The PSU, though, is also from Cooler Master, and it has a digital display. Let me see if I can get it. Let me see if XG850 ata yung PSU na Cooler Master, and oh man, the display's not on. Oh, is it on? Parang it's not. Okay. I think the guys turned it off. Um, yes, but this does have a digital display to show you like how much wattage is being used and things like that. So it's been very useful. This is actually wall mountable, but it's super heavy, and yun nga, I don't know. I don't know kailan, when we're supposed to give this back to when we're supposed to give this back to Cooler Master. So do not tell them that we still have it. All right, we're gonna go through a bunch of these, our pending stuff, or what we're doing. This M80X case, very beautiful in white, is the Asus Prime AP201. So it's an M80X case. First, the front panel, all of the panels snap off very easily, and you can see the mesh. And look at the resolution that the ZV-E10 allows us to do. Front panel, M80X case. What's interesting about this M80X case is na it's small, it's compact, definitely smaller than some of the M80X cases like I mentioned earlier. But it's small but terrible. You can fit in a good way. You can fit in a 360 rad here, which is uncommon in M80X cases. You have the compactness, but you can also have the performance. So you can have a 360 rad here, and the space is enough for a 338 millimeter GPU, which is pretty bonkers. I mean, most of even the high-end super high models like the 3080 or things like that usually are only around 330 So a 338 millimeter allowance is quite large for an M80X case. There's also an mesh front side panel here, and super easy to remove because it's just the pop-out kind. You can see the studs here. And yeah, we're looking forward to building this. Asus lent it to us for a review. There's some nice, actually, as as with all things Asus, everything feels premium. I mean, even like the little touches, like you have the kind of embossed name here. Oh, yeah. Man, look at that! You can even see it on the screen. Should have bought should have had two cameras from the get-go. Yeah. So we're excited to build in this all white. Everybody digs white now, and super easy to pop it back on and off. Okay. And now that you're on a stand, I can just put you down, and you can go like this. Yeah, no muss, no fuss. Oh, thank you to Colorful for sponsoring this live stream. All right. So my plan actually was to have it like this and I'd be behind, but oh, can we flip this? Oh no, but I was an idiot. Oh shoot. Oh man, sorry. Trying to flip the screen, which you can on the ZV-10, but I plugged in the USB cable already, so I cannot do that. All right, I'm just gonna go around to the back. Okay, that's it for the Prime AP201. Watch out for the review, hopefully coming soon when we have enough time. To be honest, this month has been crazy. So much stuff going on this month. All right, so this build is not from us. It's for cleaning and cable management. Fantex case. All right, like I'm gonna be honest. I knew it was Fantex. I didn't even need to see it does say Fantex here, but just this parang side panel. Once you see the side panel, this is the distinctively Fantex. Even their speakers have this kind of front design. Like they have mini speakers that we sell, or I think we have one left in stock. But what's kind of fun about those speakers is they mimic their chassis, their unit mimic what their cases look like. So this is a very distinctive modern Fantex case. I think it's one of the Evos. Solid, and you can really feel the metal. All right, so for cleaning cable management, I don't know if you can see it on cam, but so you can see there's dust buildup here. Let me see if I can. Parang hindi siya kita kasi may glare. But yeah, see my hand. Yeah, you can see the dust on my hand from that. And you can... So the mesh filter, the dust filter, obviously, this is I feel like a CSI guy, like na parang, these are the typical blood stain marks of something something. We took up a required course in law school is forensic medicine, so we did have some very very basic knowledge on like blood spatter patterns and things like that. And this is how I feel like na this is a very, this kind of pattern is very typical. So obviously naka-concentrate yung dirt sa yung dust sa where the fans are on the case. So that would be these two di kita on camera. Just swing this guy around. So yeah, so obviously these 140 ata to these Corsair 140 fans. So like the panel really lines up with where the dust buildup corresponds to on the mesh filter. Other than that though, it's a pretty clean rig. I'm not sure because we have two for cleaning cable management. One of them is for CCM. That's what we call cleaning cable management. But one of them is for CCM and one of them is also for troubleshooting kasi hindi na gumagana yung PSU niya. Or I think it might be, preliminarily, it might be a PSU problem. But I'm not sure if it's this one or the other one, which I'll show you guys later. But yeah, we do have we always emphasize the cleaning and cable management service kasi that's another thing that I don't know any other shop that does that. But if your PC is dirty, come on in, bring it to the shop, and we really tear it down. Everything gets taken apart. So hindi lang na parang brush lang namin yung loob or whatever, tapos na yun. No, heck no. We really go in. We break down everything. We disassemble the computer. We blow everything. Blow everything. We have a blower. Why such juvenile humor at the age of 40? But yeah, we really take everything down and then we scrub everything basically. And we have a couple of short videos on it, like before and after. Some of them are really dirty when they come into us. This is quite clean. So props to the mesh filter for keeping out most of the dust. I don't know how old this PC is. I'm pretty sure these are 140s. They look larger than the 120s. ROG Mobo. I'm not. Oh, it's a Crosshair. It's Crosshair Mobo. We used to have one also lent to us by ROG. Then it broke. Asus, please send us a new one. Yeah, but ROG Mobile Crosshair is quite expensive. I don't know where the GPU is on this guy. So I guess the guys had already started on it because also the Corsair Lightning node has been removed. So our guys already started working on this. You can see all the wires have been extracted from the back. And this is one thing I find super complicated about RGB, and I don't have a lot of experience because I've never owned one personally and I haven't done one for the shop. Paano ba yung lighting ng Corsair? Kasi they all have to be routed through a controller. So this is the Lightning node. But some Corsair cases come with a controller. The triple packs that we sell already come with the controller, but it gets really complicated because you need power and you need the RGB control. Yeah, so to be honest, Gerald, one of our tech guys, is sobrang kabisado niya yung mga ganito. And then some Corsair setups kasi are bonkers. So this one is reasonable with 3 fans, but like some we have 7 fans or some crazy thing like that. So you have to have multiple things daisy chained. To be honest, yun nga, hindi ko masundan exactly how to properly wire a Corsair RGB. I should really do that, or should really broaden my education and do one when we get one in the shop, or put Corsair also in my rig, and at least that way may hands-on experience na ako. HX 850, quite again high-end. This is an overall high-end build. HX 850, not even the RM series. The HX is higher. We do have the, oh yeah, if you can see it there, we do have the HX 750 and the HX 1000 in stock. Platinum ata yung, yeah, Platinum 80 plus rating. So, although even for myself, I usually only get 80 plus gold, so that's like the Corsair RM. I really do actually like the Corsair RM series. That was my PSU for quite a long time. Then it broke. But yun nga, medyo matagal na rin, so okay na rin. I don't begrudge it for breaking. And now I use an FSP na pinadala ni FSP for review. What's the white case? Eric Ray. Yun nga, yung Asus Prime 210p, if I remember correctly. Oxygen. Sir, I'm using a cooling pad. How do you position the Zephyrus M16? I do not know. Sorry. I don't have any experience with the Zephyrus. May ergo lift kasi siya. That's another thing, another gap in my tech knowledge. I don't know a lot about laptops because personally I don't use them a lot and we don't also carry them in the shop. So my laptop experience and knowledge is very limited. And when it does come up, I do tell people na I'm sorry, I really can't help you kasi wala rin akong experience with that. Sup, Tech Wolf Cave. If you're gonna game and stream is 6 centigrade, 6C, 12. Oh, sorry. 6-core, 12 threads enough, or you need an 8-core, 16-thread CPU? Actually, for gaming, well, it's also gonna be streaming, but you know the streaming doesn't really use up a lot. I'd say a 5600X. What's a 5600X? I think 6 and 12 lang yung 5600X. Let me check. But yeah, 5600X. Yes, 5600X is only 6 and 12. We do have one in the shop, 5600, 6 and 12. 5600X will be very decent for both gaming and for streaming. Yun nga, I used to stream on my computer before I upgraded a couple of months ago was super old, like an i5 4690K. i5, man. That's 5th gen of Intel. We're at Intel 12th gen now, so just, you know, yung comparison pa lang na yun, that's like 7 generations behind. But yeah, DDR3 RAM. But I was streaming and gaming and streaming games quite fine on an i5 4690K, which was no slouch to be fair. Maganda naman yung specs noon back in the day, but but you know, it is quite an old CPU. Medyo long in the tooth na siya. But yun, just wanted to emphasize na you don't really need a lot for gaming and streaming. Of course, depends on what you're gaming. But a lot of the gaming processing will be taken up by the GPU. So, yeah, you know, 5600X, 6 cores, 12 threads should be enough. Brent, would be nice if you guys got listed on PC Part Picker. To be honest, I did want to make an account and like every build we do, we would post it with the specs kasi, diba, you can see that's how the accounts work on PC Part Picker, PC Parts Picker. Everybody can see like, oh, this guy made this build and things like that. I've been meaning to do it for a long time, but to be honest, there's so many things going on in the shop na I just can't find the time. And sometimes we have builds na sobrang bilisan lang. Like just this week we had a build. This customer. So he last emailed us in June and he was like, you know, no rush. So we were corresponding via email and he was like, our last correspondence was in June, and then so I told him I gave the specs and he's like, okay, I'm still saving up or I'm still thinking about it. I'll get back to you. And I'm like, yeah, no rush. We're not hard sales dito sa Hardware Sugar. Oh man, I'm gonna rip this power thing out for sure. Sorry, Ken. I know you're watching. I know this is your workstation, pero parang nasisipa ko yung wires niya. And then just this week, he comes back to us out of the blue and he's like, okay, I'm ready to order. Can I have it within a day? And long story short, we did get it to him within the day. He paid in the morning and we got it to him by that afternoon. But that's really not how we like to operate. Generally, we like to take our time so that we can also test it and make sure we got everything right. Like, real talk, guys, you'd be disgusted by how many rigs we've sent out and then like we forgot to again, okay, we'll be honest, real talk, live from the shop. Let's say usually kasi yung configurations ng computers ng customers, may SSD yun and then may hard drive. And occasionally, it happens that we do put in the hard drive but we forgot to wire it or we got to format it. So the customer, gets his computer and then 2 hours later messages us na, nasa na yung 2 TB Barracuda that I paid for. And it's there. Yun nga, it's either na, paminsan natanggal yung SATA in delivery. And that's true. Sometimes we do forget to wire it. And sometimes we do forget to format it, so it's not showing up in Windows. We have taken steps to remedy that, and that doesn't happen anymore, but that did happen in the past. It is our fault, no excuses. At the same time, though, yun nga, that like no excuses, and then I make an excuse. But at the same time, we do like to take our time, but sometimes we just can't because the customer is rushing us. But we have put things in place to remedy that particular concern. It doesn't happen anymore. But yes, as much as possible, we like to take our time, but sometimes it's just not possible. And sometimes the pressure is coming from the customer's end. Na, oh, I need this right away. And like, if you need it right away, why? Sana you had planned ahead, right? But okay naman, we were able to deliver that and there were no problems. It's working great now. But nasa-stress din kami is what I'm trying to say. We do want to provide quality service and the service that the customer needs. If the customer says na he needs it right away, we really try to move heaven and earth to get it done right away. But sometimes we just can't do it. I mean, like right now, sobrang nakatambak kami ng builds. But when we can, we do. All right, so that was the Fantex build. For CCM, for sure. Not too sure, like, what other stuff the customer wants us to do here. Let me just put this away. Oh, where's it in the front panel? Oh, here. Front panel, guys. Oop. Front panel. And then over here, just to round out what some of the other things. This is for the keyboard, like to pluck out the keys. I'm not a big keyboard enthusiast, so nagulat ako when I saw something like this. Although I do need to change my keyboard kasi hindi na siya nagre-register accurately yung W tsaka yung T, some other things. Alright, so this build also was not from us, but the case is from us. So this is a custom order, the Meshify 2 in black. I think this is dark tint. Tech guys, if you're watching, it's dusty na. We need to clean it before the customer comes. This is also a high-end rig. So you got a 360mm rad AIO from Arctic. Sorry, let me focus the shot better. I really like. Sige, wait nga. I'm just gonna put this guy down. So heavy though. Oh, good Lord. Yep. Whoa, what a big boy. Okay. Arctic has a very interesting CPU block design. It's sorry, let me make sure you guys can see it. Yon. Yeah. It's very unique. I mean, it's not the cookie cutter kind of CPU block that you see on a lot of CPU coolers. Parang pinag-isipan talaga. I forget the exact specs. Like, there's an impeller here. There's like a small fan there. I'm not sure if that's for the VRAM. Sorry, not the VRAM. The what do you call those things in the MOBO? And everybody's like, ooh, they should get better cooling. The one with the MOSFETs and things like that. So I forget what this small fan is supposed to be for. We've only recently started selling Arctic, pero I like how premium they are. They're supposed to have excellent performance. The ones we sold have, nobody has complained about them. Even their cables it's kind of braided, tough mesh. 360mm rad, very distinctive CPU block. Gigabyte RTX. I'm not sure what RTX this is, but it's a tri-fan, so definitely like what 3070 Ti or 3080, and with an ST500 deep cool GPU support holder. For dim, so all 4 RAM slots are occupied. Na MSI X570 ba to? Hard to tell. But yun nga. Oh, and it's an Octua Redux ba to? Definitely a Redux, yes. 140? Oh, they're all Redux. I love coming to the shop and like, oh, ganda nung build na to. Like, I have no idea. I have no idea where, actually this one, ako yung I handle like 95% of all chat. So, the customer asked us for a custom order. We do that if we can get it in stock. And, all right, let me just lift it up from the other side. So, I did follow this build, this transplant, but I didn't quite know the specs. Oh, there are 3 Redux fans. Noctua. Oh, my God. Oh, so heavy. Man. But let me just share again the excellent, well, yeah, front and back. I mean, you can see the excellent cable management there, and then I'm so lazy. We're just gonna do it like this, and then you can see the excellent cable management also in the back. So clean. Props to the guys in the shop. I really don't know how they do it. I could not get like my cable management skills are maybe like 5, and theirs are like 20 out of 10. So beautiful. I mean, not to like, medyo OA you know how some people are like everything is beautiful, but to be honest, when you see a rig this clean, when you see work like that, I mean, look at that, man. There's no stray wire out of place. I mean, really, props. It's self-serving, yes, but I like to celebrate when the guys do a good job. And like, look at this, man. This is just so clean. I don't know how the hell they do this. Actually, we do have a video on the techniques they do for cable management. It's a bit dusty though. The customer said he'll get it like this week, so need to dust it a little bit before. But I mean, yeah, really, that is a work of art. We should like make that an NFT. Like, just take a picture, slap it on some NFT shit, and that's a work of art. Oh, heavy mofo though. All right, one last build I do want to discuss before we talk about the thing in the title, the R7 5800X 3D, which a lot of people have been waiting for. Oh my god, it's also heavy. Okay, this one was sent by courier. I think this is the one for cleaning and cable management. And baka ito yung sira na PSU, so it won't start. Cooler Master H500 ARGB, I think, in white. I do like the ganda nitong front ni H500, especially when it's turned on. So I love the contours of the front, and then there's a mesh, and then when it's turned on, the RGB really pops through. It's still sealed in plastic. To be honest, we got this yesterday, but we haven't been able to get to work on it kasi yun nga, medyo busy sa shop. I think this is the one for cleaning and for it just won't turn on anymore, and the customer thinks it might be a PSU issue. Just as I say na okay naman yung RM, Corsair RM series, yan yung PSU dito sa build na to, which I think is the one na suspected PSU problem. AIO is a Galahad. Oh, the RAM is also Corsair. Vengeance, I think. And the PSU, the GPU, oh, it's a Vision. The Mobo, sorry, I'm not sure if it's quite clear on cam, but the Mobo is from the Vision series of Gigabyte. So the force is strong. 2 gigabytes, Corsair RAM, Galahad AIO. I do love the CPU block also of the Galahad AIO. Oh, white cables. So, pinag-isipan na rin tong case na to. I mean, the owner thought about, there was some level of customization involved in this one. Also high-end parts. And really, if you're an enthusiast, that's really what we try to. Yes, some of the parts we stock are pricey, but we try to have a space where, if you wanna spend a lot of money on PC parts, we want to be that place. So we try to stock premium parts and offer premium service, no hassle service. And I think there are 2 other builds na hindi pa nakapila pa, like they haven't even started on it. All right, let us do another ad. Third ad coming up. Alright, not biased, pero actually maganda yung RAM na yon. Yung CVN Guardian ni Colorful. It's cheaper, performance is just as good. We do stock it in the shop, so I'm speaking from experience na okay siya. And the design is kind of like this gray white, so it's a nice contrast to some builds, like if you're going for an all white build, or it has a nice contrast. The RAM itself, the cooler, the the sticks, they're basically just those are just heat sinks dapat, but they became aesthetics. But yeah, the RAM itself does look pretty good. The price is very reasonable. Performance is very good. So actually, the CVN Guardian, the colorful RAM, I can say from experience that that's good RAM. We do sell it in the shop. Sup, Ken? Good morning. Tihi from YouTube. Do you do appointments for people living far from Manila? We don't do appointments. To be honest, they're very hard to keep track of. Like, we'll block time off, then baka they don't show up or they're late. And then somebody else gets bumped back because they had the slot after them. So basically, it's first come, first serve. My advice would be just to come on a weekday. Usually, like Monday, Tuesday are light compared to weekends. Weekends, madami kasing tao. And more advice would be to order already beforehand. Like, if you already know what to order it via our site, pay for it, and then so that pagdating mo dito, pick up na lang. So that assured ka na pagdating mo, ready na computer mo. So there's less time waiting for you. Nothing's wasted. No time wasted on your part. Sup, Luke Markets from YouTube. Christian, dadalaw kaya si Rocky sa ESGS 2022? We have been talking about that if we're going to ESGS this year. Course 200. Are they 200? David Go? The guys here? 200 ba to? Not 140? I do not know, to be honest. I'm looking for a 140. I know we have some 140s. I do not know, to be honest, if these are 200. Are they 200? Not 140? But there are, oh, sorry, there are, I was saying that there are only 3 Corsair fans, but actually there are 6 kasi may tatlo pa pala siya dito. These are definitely 120. I'm not sure these are 140. So actually there are 6. Okay, so this really, the Fantex rig is medyo bonkers pala also. Next, pwede magtanong stream is, it's always every first Friday. So the next one should be, the next one will be on September 2. Next Friday. Yep. Quanta, what's up? 200 millimeters, 2mm fans? I will stand corrected if they are indeed 200 mm. So if this is 200 mm, 200, so 3 200 mm and then 3 120s. Are they 200? Really custom though, kung ganun. Alright, so as the title implies, we have finally on stock the Ryzen 5 5800X 3D. So that is the much ballyhooed 3D V-Cache of AMD. I won't get into the specifics of the architecture of why that makes it such a such a performer. But the benchmarks I've seen, supposedly it even defeats the Intel i9 12900K. So, yun, top of the line from AMD. At a reasonable price, actually. And there is some, so not much to see on the box, but we do have it in stock, the 5800X 3D. And, well, we also have the R9 5950X, the previous King of the Hill for AMD. I don't even know, like, what the camera sees. Anyway, sorry. I was like, yeah. 5800X 3D, 5950X. And the thing, the arguments I've seen for the 5800X 3D is, yes, the performance is great. But basically, this is the first public outing of the 3D cache technology, the 3D V cache technology. So, some of the posts I've seen online are like, well, yes, the X3D is good, but why? Yun nga, it's just the start. So why not just wait for the 7000 series, which will also have this V cache? And for me, that's kind of like a weird argument to make. Obviously, if you need a computer now, why not go for the 5800X 3D V cache? And it all boils down to the argument: should you wait or should you go? I mean, should you wait and buy when the next gen comes out, the AM5 7000 series, DDR5 AMD, which is coming maybe end of the year, or should you buy now? And my thought on that has always been like, if you need it right now, get it right now. If you can afford to wait, yeah, do wait. But be like going into it, you should probably have the expectation that there will be some growing pains with the new architecture. Because AMD has been on AM4 for so long, so it's basically they know the quirks, they know like what's stable, what's not. But the shift to AM5, 7000 series, DDR5, daming bago sa next gen. So if you do want to wait and you can wait, that's very good. Pero yun, just be aware that like maybe 6 months to a year after release, there'll still be some things na some stability issues. Have you had an experience with repasting Founders Edition GPUs? We have not. um, yeah, each GPU is unique. I mean, like you can't just say like every 3080 is the same. Obviously, it varies per manufacturer, and every teardown is unique for that model GPU. We've never done an FE teardown or repasting. We do offer that service, like your GPU, bring in your GPU. We have done it for a couple of customers where, yeah, they bring in their GPU. We take it apart, we repaste it, and we replace the thermal pads if needed. I mean, sorry, we do replace them automatically, and then we brush if needed, like if there's dust and gunk inside the cooling part of the GPU. And we practice extensively. We didn't offer the service right away. We practiced it extensively on our own GPUs, including the Sapphire one, one of the old GPUs we have in the shop. We practiced extensively on on the GPUs we had here, including the Sapphire RX 480, I think. But no, we have not ever done a FE Founders Edition GPU. Okay, let me just play the last ad before I forget. Parang the last ad is not resized properly, guys. Let me try to resize it now on the fly. Alright, so it's the thing. This is the problem with, oh yeah, fit the screen. Yon, okay. Saglit. Alright, let's do the ad again. Is this for the GPUs? Is this the ad for the GPU? Yes. Actually, sige. I'll stop that. Actually, we do carry a lot of colorful GPUs in the shop because, again, even before they started sponsoring us, sobrang value for money yung colorful. You're getting like 3060, 3070, 3080 at a much lower price. And right now, they're even on discount. So their lower price is even lower. And the quality is pretty good. To be honest, we haven't had any complaints about the colorful GPUs. None of them have come back because they broke down or things like that. Rocky the programmer, one of our staff here, our back-end guy, even managed to tweak his 3070, the colorful 3070, to be the second fastest in the world or something based on the 3D spy marks. So, yun, actually very good quality yung colorful GPUs. Yeah, just because they're our sponsors doesn't mean I have to blow smoke up their ass and say nice things about them. But when we do have experience, like the GPUs, we've been selling them for a long time. The RAM, we've also been selling for quite some time na. Both of those things, I can honestly say na sobrang quality nun. Yung motherboard, hindi ko masabi. We've never used colorful motherboards. And SSDs, which is the first ad in the stream, hindi ko rin masabi. We've never carried them. But, yun nga, all honesty, the GPUs and RAM are pretty good. Ken Cruz, colorful number one. Sorry, I keep hitting things and I just hit the table. Ayun, so yeah, so we do have the 5800X 3D on stock. Right after this, we are going to be releasing a video. It's Rocky the Programmer's video on stress testing versus benchmarking. And like, ano ba yung pagkaiba nila? When do you want to do one over the other? Tapos how do you do it? Like, paano ba mag-stress test? Paano mag-benchmarking? Because they're different. They're not the same thing. Sup, Erubu, to be honest, Erubu, like I recognize your name, but it's so hard to pronounce it. Erubu Sparky. Sup? And thank you for always commenting on the YouTube videos. I do appreciate it. And yung mga sensical comments, kasi sometimes we get comments that are like just nonsensical, but I do appreciate your comments. Thank you. Yes, so what else do I wanna like highlight from the shop? We originally had a GPU crunch, like we were running. Okay, sige, let me go over to the other end and then we'll show you. Like, so I was saying na we have a lot of colorful GPUs. We do have a lot of colorful GPUs. Here they are. There, ta-da! Can we like zoom in? Oh my goodness! Up. There we go. So we do. It's like how many? Like 3/4 of the GPUs maybe are colorful. Di naman. But oh, are we out of 3060s na gigabyte? The Eagles. Oh, we are. Need to restock. Actually, we're out 3060s period. No. Wait. Oh, there's the Eagle. Yep, they're on top. Okay, there's the Eagle. Sorry, natuwa ako masyado sa zoom in feature. So, we were kind of like mahirap makahanap ng motherboards like maybe last month. Our usual, we do a lot of ITX builds. Sorry, the camera is wandering. We do a lot of ITX builds. Usually our go-to was the X570 Oros, the X570i na Oros, but that was out of stock. Then we made it the B550i, also from Gigabyte, also out of stock. Finally, buti na lang, we were able to, like I was really kind of panicking a little bit saan tayo maghanap ng ITX boards for AMD. But we were able to get the ROG, also very quality B550i. And we also have now for Intel 12th Gen. Come on guys, Intel 12th Gen ITX build, B660i or Rus Pro. Yes, so we also have the X570 Plus gaming. Usually kasi we carry the MSI X570S Tomahawk Wi-Fi, but that was sold out. So we're carrying this again. Also quality and also actually a good price. It's a little, I mean, it's invisible to customers, but it's also hard for shops, especially small shops like Hardware Sugar, to get stock kasi we only buy like tig dalawa. And then, ang hirap pag-inventory if you keep getting different motherboards. Tapos hindi mo rin alam kung mabenta yon kasi customers have, like yung Tomahawk na yon, yung Tomahawk series, sikat yun eh. Like a lot of customers come in, they're like, okay, the Tomahawk sounds good, I'll get that. So I as much as possible, I like carrying the same models, like the ones I know na mabenta, the ones I know are quality and reliable. But the difficulty is, especially for small shops like us, is na mabilis maubusan yung suppliers. So, yun, like the MSI, and when they run out, when my go-to models run out, I have to find substitutes. Although, this worked out well, like the ROG Strix board is solid. The X570 Plus, which we actually have sold before, is solid as well. But yun nga, it is a challenge to find alternatives to the stock that we usually carry. It's kind of it happens quite a lot na parang I want to, like, oh, I need this part, and like I go to my usual supplier and they'll be like, oh, sorry sir, sold out, and like, oh man, then I need to start looking for an alternative which I know is good, but at the same time the price is good also. So that's a real excuse me, that's a real pain in the ass. Did I bring water? Oh, I left it in the car, man. Yes, but actually we are well stocked right now compared to how we were maybe like a month ago. In fact, we have the whole 3000 series except for the. So we start. Oh, actually, we're out of the 1650, but so we have 1660 Super, then 2060, then we have 3060, 70, 70 Ti, 60 Ti, then 3080. So kulang na lang 80 Ti, 90, and 90 Ti. But all of which we can get on special order. Like if you want if you want those models, the 3080 Ti, 90, and the 90 Ti. Yep. Oh, this is also this the Unifan, the Infinity. Saan yung Infinity? Oh, this is the Infinity. Okay. So these are in demand. The Lian Li Unifans have always been in demand, but this is the new version, the Infinity versions. We do have on stock, and I'm just gonna like, I'm gonna like share a short story about the Infinity. I don't know if the camera can see me. Oh, like should I be talking to this camera or this camera? Anyway, so I'll share a short story about the Infinities. Like I didn't know that the I must be the dumbest shop owner. I didn't know na Lian Li came out with new versions of the SL, you know, the Unifans SL. So I'm ordering from our supplier and I'm like, oh, Unifans SL. And then when they get to the shop, hindi pala Unifans SL dumating. Infinity. But I paid the same price. These are more expensive. The Infinity ones are more expensive now. But that initial order, I paid the same price. But instead of getting the old Unifan SL, which we still have, I got the Infinity ones. So I just assumed, una, I didn't know. Like, I really didn't know that there was a difference. So I just assumed that when I ordered the Unifan SLs, my supplier was just like, okay, he must want the Infinities, and we don't sell the SLs anymore, so just we give him the Infinities. And so for that initial batch, again, hardware sugar, hindi naman kami like, oh, I know, I know online we have this kind of like a reputation sometimes na mahal sa hardware sugar, but to be honest, we only have a certain markup. When we just mark it up to that, we don't price gouge like, oh, ito sobrang sikat tong item in demand, so let's make it 30% higher, parang ganyan. We don't do that. We have a set markup. So when we got the Infinity fans and they were just the same price as the old fans, I didn't jack up the price. I just made them the same price as the Infinity fans. So the customers who got them, nagulat sila na sobrang mura. And they were asking me na, so are you sure na ito yung Infinities? And ako naman, I'm like, yeah, they're the Infinities. And on the second, so that sold out quite quickly kasi nga mas mura sila. And on the second round, I ordered the Infinities because now I know better. Now I know that they're Infinities instead of the regular or lumang SL. I ordered the Infinities, tapos mas mahal pala sila. So, hindi naman nalugi yung shop because I just paid the old price. Di naman nalugi yung customer kasi he got the Infinities at the price that we listed them as. Baka yung nalugi yung supplier namin. Because I really don't know if we were meant to get the Infinities in that first batch kung nalito lang sila. To be honest, di ko na tinanong kasi nabenta ko na. But when I realized like, oh, magkaiba pala yung SL and yung SL Infinity, nabenta ko na sila. So I didn't tell the supplier anymore. Like, I didn't ask anymore na, alam mo yung first batch na yun, tama ba na yung Infinities na kuha namin? But anyway, the subsequent batches, they were priced accordingly. So these are more expensive than the first batch that we sold, and which we really sold as an error. I had no idea na there was a new version of the SL, the Unifan SL, and those were the Infinity version, and they were more expensive. Kasi when I priced them, I just went on the pricing na galing din sa supplier. And it is a real pain in the ass, guys, to keep track of all of the SKUs or the SKUs, all of the items that we have in the shop. We have an upcoming video where I complain about na ang hilig ng mga brands magsabi na V2 plus, enhanced, Evo, parang ganyan. They keep the model name and then they just add V2, but they don't tell you ano ba yung V2. Like what has changed between V1 and V2? Super annoying. And yeah, I do rant about that in an upcoming video. And so it is very hard to keep track of everything all of the items that go into the shop. Like if the supplier made a mistake, like I don't know kasi di ko na tinanong. Maybe I don't want to know anymore. But you know, it worked out for the customers who got that initial batch. And we do have now the Infinities and the SLs, so the old and the current and the new versions in the shop right now. Yeah, so we're pretty stocked. We have good Intel stock, although we don't have an i9 12900. You should get one on stock. But other than that, we have the 12700, 12600. We even have like the lower end or the entry level, like 12100, 12500, and things like that. We do really try to focus more on the high end, but we're trying also to kind of dip our waters into yung medyo entry level builds. As GPU prices go down and you don't really need a bonkers CPU for a lot of things, uh, we are trying to introduce more entry level parts into the shop. McCoy Bonnie, I'm surprised actually the CM. I mean, yun nga, no brand is 100%, pero usually Cooler Master is good for us for PSUs. But your usual alternatives, Seasonic, Corsair, CV series, Seasonic, the S12 3 series. So that yan yung parang ka-range ng MWE line ni Cooler Master. You also have FSP. Um, Actually, in the shop, we only carry 5 PSU brands now. Although primarily just Seasonic, Corsair, Cooler Master, then Deep Cool one model because we really like their 750 watt na 80 plus gold. And recently, we started carrying a Lian Li PSU na 750 watts, 80 plus gold. And I like it kasi sobrang mura niya compared to the usual Corsair SF70 Platinum, yung usual Seasonic SGX series, or kahit yung Cooler Master V ata yung ITX or yung SFF PSU ni Cooler Master V750 I think. So all of those guys are quite pricey, but yung Lian Li has a very good priced, well priced SFF PSU. So we're carrying that on stock now. We want to try it out. Brent, there are more than 5 versions of the Hyper 212. Yes, that's why we don't carry the Hyper 212 because I don't want to be hassle to go through those like Hyper 212 Evo, I think, Hyper 212 LED, just or the base Hyper 212. So to be honest, it's really a pain in the ass. So we don't usually carry the Hyper 212. Somebody was asking about this build. This is our test branch, the Cooler Master case, which I can't remember the designation of. The half 700 Evo though, which Cooler Master also lent to us over here. That's a really you can just see it over there in the back. That's a really massive case, pero ang ganda nung front niya, yung RGB niya. We do have a short on it, and Ren, our front end designer, as well as our primary editor, will be editing another short for it. This is nice actually. We have so this is a Meshify 2 from Fractal Design, H500 from Cooler Master. This one is a Fantex case, which and to evolve, I don't know. It's like it's one of those. Although the front panel is over there. And this is the Cooler Master open test bench setup type that I honestly can't remember what the model name is. Yun. So now is a good time to buy from us. Number one, because we do have a lot of options again back in stock, both for PSUs, CPU, and GPUs. Good coolers. I mean, good options for coolers. The cases, I always feel that, I always feel that we overbuy cases, pero we have too many cases on stock. Pero nakukulangan ako sa choice namin sa cases because cases are very personal. Personally, for me, I like having, because the case is the first thing you see about your computer. You interact with it every day. So I do encourage customers to find a meaningful case for them. Yung napapa-wow sila. Yung when they see the case every morning, they're like, God damn, my PC is so beautiful. And so to give the customer that option, we really try to stock a lot of different cases. And I think for a shop of our size, we do have overweighted a little bit on cases, but I think we could still have more, like different designs and things like that. But some of the cases that we usually carry sold out. I'm still waiting for the Lian Lees. They're always sold out. The O11 Air Mini, the O11. Is it Air Mini or O11? Basta the Lian Lee ones are always very popular, and those are always sold out. Yeah, so I think, we're a bit overweighted with cases, but I think we can still get more. I have a case problem, I admit it. I'm medyo addicted to finding like mga kakaibang cases and stocking them in the shop. Yeah, so now's a good time to buy. Prices also are kind of, reasonable na, especially if you get a colorful GPU. I'm surprised when people ask for 50K builds, I quote them, and then I look at the specs and I'm like, wow, this is quite decent for 50K. Because, the past 2 years during the pandemic, with all the prices going up and things like that, um, it was very difficult to get a decent PC for 50K. But right now, especially if you're focused on just one thing like gaming, you can get a good GPU. Don't need to get a super expensive CPU. So a lot of possibilities in the 50K range. Of course, we do have our bonkers builds. Anything above 100K, I feel is bonkers. But we have a lot of customers because we do. That's by design. That's on purpose. We do try to scale high end and we stock accordingly. So yung mga customers din namin, yun, medyo 100K pataas. So we still do have those builds. Just last week, we had an office computer. We had an office order 8 computers from us. Pero high end pa rin, 12600, 12700. Yeah, so ironically, so inflation is supposed to be bad, but all indications are like prices should be going down. Although the motherboards actually have gone up, and I think that's because of the pesos weekend. A lot of the recent price increases now. Cooler Master has increased. Our motherboards have increased across the board because our suppliers have also raised their prices. Um, a lot of the increases, I think, is not because of the part shortage anymore, pero yung exchange rate kasi lugi sila. Uh, lugi sila yung mga importers natin, yung mga distributors natin, lugi sila dun sa exchange rate, so they had to raise their prices. Like that's my personal thought on why some items have gone up because we did see an across the board price increase maybe last month, like all of our mobos, CPUs. Although CPUs, AMD had a great promo just like 2 weeks ago. Sobrang mura. Then when we bought some, then we put them again kasi fixed markup lang kami. We put them maganda yung price kasi we got them at a good price. We were able to sell them for a good price just at our regular markup. So nabenta sila kaagad and that was like a busy weekend like a week ago na daming builds kasi daming bumili kasi I guess I don't know maybe people noticed na the prices for the CPUs were really good. So AMD had a really good promo like 2 weeks ago. They're not on promo anymore unfortunately. But we do have now the 5800X 3D in stock. All right, so I think we can call it a day, guys. It's about to hit lunchtime. Yun. Thanks so much for watching another episode of Live from the Shop. Just some quick updates from us here at Hardware Sugar. We will be open again tomorrow. Usual times, 9:30 to 4:30. There is another holiday though in August. That's next Monday. Next Monday. So we'll be closed for that. But yes, if you have any questions, you know how to reach us. Really loving this dual camera set. Oh, there's like one camera there, another camera there. Good job to the kids for the revamped layout. So now it's just like one long table and then yeah, people can work together. And we can hide stuff at the bottom, which was my condition for rearranging the shop. I didn't want like our store to feel super cluttered. Yeah, all right. Thank you to we just give a shout out to sponsor. Thank you, Colorful, for what the hell? Yeah, I need a proper camera person. Thanks, Colorful, for sponsoring us. We are your customer. Maybe like you can give us a discount. Just saying. All right. Thanks. Stay safe. Have a good weekend. Right after this, we're gonna release the video of Rocky the Programmer, and then tomorrow I think it might be Crypto Watch, and then Wednesday is the continuation part 2 of Rate My Rig, Roast My Rig, featuring the Hardware Sugar staff. Stay safe.